Hi boys and girls. Hey, welcome to part 7. We're up to part 7 on our Trans-O low budget H500 Resto. And today we're going to be working on the cabinet. Now we got the chassis all nice. Chassis done and working real nice, and I hope yours is too. But we got this case, and let me show you the case. Now it's got some years. It's showing its age, and you can see it's kind of dirty. It's the front. So we get a shot. There's a shot of the left side of radio. There's a shot. Let me turn this around. Maybe we see it a little bit better. There's the right side. Let me close this up, and you can see it's showing its age. It's held up pretty well though, you know, so it's not really too bad. So what we're going to do is, now you don't have to do this if you're not comfortable, but we're not only going to clean this up, we're also going to remove the brass. Okay, we're going to take this latch off. I'm going to take the brass off from the top here for the handle. Okay, so you have brass in those two places. So I'm going to show you how to polish them up and really make that look, you know, really nice. This particular radio, now you know when you turn the catch to the front, it's supposed to pop up. Well, it's not doing that. It's actually popping up when you turn around in the back. And also, as you can see here, now right now, the top of the last segment of the antenna is spring loaded. That should pop up, which tells me this is bent a little bit. And I'll show you how to straighten that out as well. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start taking this whole thing apart and get it ready to clean and detail and make it all nice again. So let's get started. Okay, and before you start taking anything apart, make sure you got some sort of a storage container. I'm going to use this plastic bin to hold all the screws and miscellaneous stuff. This wave magnet can come off, so it's just a simple matter of wow, that is on there tight. I can get this one off. It just unscrews. Okay. Okay, I had to put a second hand on there to loosen it up. It's actually too tight. So anyway, that's off now. And with the two brass screws off, this thing should just come right off like this. Okay. And you can even see the difference. You can see where the wave magnet was covering this up, and you can see just how dirty this is. We'll be able to clean that up. I don't think we're going to get 100%, but we'll make it look a whole lot better than it was. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to literally take this handle off the radio. This is pretty straightforward and simple. Now, some radios just have regular screws underneath. Sometimes they're Phillips screws. This one, from what I can feel from my right index finger, just feels like a regular screwdriver. So what I'll do is I'll just get a regular screwdriver, go underneath, and of course the old adage, righty tighty lefty loosey, and the screw should come out. I know you can't see it, but up here as I'm unscrewing it, you can actually see the piece wiggle a little bit. And by all means, please, when you get these off, make sure you save everything. Okay, so now that we got it off, here's the handle removed from the radio. And you can see the screws that were in here. So we're going to save these. We're going to put this in a little bin. And then I think for the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the, now you don't have to do this if you don't feel good about it, but I'm going to remove the latch on both the lid, okay, and I'm also going to remove it from the case here. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, to get the bottom section of the latch off, I'm shining a light inside the bottom of the box, and you can see two Phillips head screws. So just go in there with a decent Phillips screwdriver, take those out, and then the bottom part of the latch should come right. Okay, the bottom half of the latch I just took off. Here it is. Just have it laying here. Looks like somebody put some wax or something. So at least I have it all together. I got the screws in there. I'm going to add that to my parts bin now too. Next is area I'm in the back of the radio. I think we'll just take the antenna off the radio. Now let me show you how to do that. Alright, to remove the wave rod antenna, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove, there's two nuts holding on to some studs. There's one here. Okay, let me get up here so you can see it. One here, and then one here. We're going to take these out, and that'll allow us to remove the antenna. What you're going to need is a 1/4 inch, somewhat deep socket. I'm going to use that on, I have one here. I'm going to use it on this 1/4 inch drive screwdriver that I have. Okay, now as you can see, I've removed the two nuts. And I usually just grab this whole thing because it's basically a bracket that actually compresses. There's actually a couple pieces of clear plastic that wrap around the antenna, and then this bracket actually compresses on that to hold it together. Usually if you just move it like this, the whole thing will stay together. Alright, so let me put that bracket first in the bin. Okay, and then I'm going to take these two nuts, just so I don't lose them because they're very, very small. I'm just going to put them back on these studs until I'm ready to put the antenna back on. Okay, the retaining nuts for the antenna are now in the studs. While I'm still on the back of the radio, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this retaining bracket and screw. This is the clip that holds the suction cups on there. Okay, so I'm going to put these suction cups now in my little bin, and then you have this little bracket here with two Phillips screws. Now some radios had this. Now this radio had one, but it's missing. There's a hole here and a hole here, and some of these radios had a bracket that would retain spare tubes. I may have one. If I do have one, I think I'm going to put one in here after we do the detailing and cleaning work on the case, but I'll have to see if I've got one. So in the meantime, I'll just take these guys off. And also these are the clips that actually compress, and the clips there and there. Okay, so I'm going to take these 4 pieces off, the two clips, the suction cup retainer, and this is actually for the was meant for the manual, which I don't have on this radio. Okay, I've removed all the hardware from the inside of the back door, and while I was there, I also decided to take these two brackets off. It'll make it easier to clean the stag here. Plus the brackets are a little bit on the rusty side, and I have a method of cleaning that stuff up. So it's really getting down to a somewhat naked box, but we're not done yet. Alright, so I'm just going to do this with first of all, you need a very, like a knife or a razor similar to what I have here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, get the latch out of the way. Oh, the latch won't even flip over. Okay, great. Well, we'll see if we can fix that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the knife blade, just like I have here, and I'm going to try to actually take, I'm not trying to cut the material. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to separate the material where it's been glued or whatever adhesive they had. And you gotta go real slow, and it's tedious work, but it can be done. And I know it's probably not a good picture because I need both my hands to do this. But if you go slow and real careful, you can separate this without breaking it. I've done it before. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've actually broken one or two, but if you think you're starting to do it, just go in another area and work there first. See, I almost started to break that right there. I'm also holding the knife blade on a little bit of an angle. I'm not holding it straight like this. I'm holding it on a little angle toward me. So when I push down on it, it's actually going to go behind this material here and just go to the black stag material. And I keep working it and working it down. Okay, and you really need to do a pretty good cross section here. And you see, the knife blade is almost falling down because that's where the screw is. Okay, and then once you get enough of this opened up, you can get to the screw. So I'm going to do the other side now with this, and then I'll show you what it's going to look like when, or how it should look anyway, when you get ready to take the screws out. Okay, this took me about 10 minutes to do this, and I was very slow and very careful. And what I've done is I've worked with the razor knife a spot where, here now I'm just going to pull some of the material down. I don't know if you can see that screw or not, but there's the one screw, and here's the other screw in here. And now I can get, when I haven't torn the material, but now I can get in here. Boy, these are really hard. And get in here and unscrew this thing. Now this side where I got my fingers just started to split a little bit. So you gotta just go real slow. What we'll do is when we're done, we'll just glue that back up after we put the latch on there once it's all nice and clean and polished and stuff. Okay, we got the screws and we got the latch. And that's how you get the latch out. Now, I'm going to clean this anyway. I'm going to literally remove this from the rail. I'll show you how to do that. But if I do the clean this thing before I take the latch off, then this material will get a little damp, and then it makes it hard to work with. So if you elect to take the latch off, do what I did before you clean this up. It'll make getting this material worked out and worked down so you can get to the screws a whole lot easier. Okay, now I have the radio laying on its back, or the case laying on its back, so you can see it easier. And this is literally the top of the radio here. So what I want to do is, if you can see, there's 1, 2, case 3. This screw is already loose for some reason, which I don't understand. 4, 5, and then this little bracket thingy here. We're going to take these off, and that'll allow us to take this top piece off the radio, and we'll be able to get access to getting this off the radio too. Okay. Alright, so we removed all the screws. Let's see how this, look at this, comes right out. There it is. Okay. Now I've got this out. Let me put this off to the side along with the other stuff. I'll flip this over and you'll see what I'm talking about with the wires. See that? So if you got, here, let me get a light over here to see a little better. Now if you got a H500 or a G500 or even a 7G, well actually the HG has these. A little trough in here, comes over to a hole, and then that's what goes to the connector right here, which actually will go into the back of the radio for the broadcast band. So now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the 2 screws on this side, 2 screws on this side. This whole top door will come off, and we're going to just pull the connector up through the hole here, and that'll make things a little bit easier to clean and detail as well. Okay, I removed the screws, and then this thing kind of jumped up and couldn't wait to come out, so I'll just pull that through the hole, and there it is. There's the top, and it's all ready to be cleaned and detailed now. So I'll just put that over to the side. So this is what you should be left with if you're following along with me. You've got basically a box, no antennas. I would take the back door off too, but the stag is covering the screws, the bounce, so you can leave that on there. And this is what you should be left with right now. There I am. Okay, so that's it for today. We're going to basically, next video we're going to start cleaning and detailing the cabinet, and how I clean and polish up the plastic and brass work for the radio and make that look real nice as well. So we're going to start all that on the next video. So make sure you save everything. If you're not sure about anything you've done, or maybe while it's still fresh in your head, if you're not sure about certain screws, wherever, you might want to just take them and label them up, and that way when we put it back together, you know, all your hardware will be there, and we'll be ready to go. So until next time, thanks for watching.